Thanks for this opportunity. So we three are presenting. The presentation goes like this. Initially, we'll talk about the basics of psychoneuroimmunology. It's a new subject. Then in the second part, it's going to cover the mindful-based intervention for the psychosocial factors. So this first part of the presentation, briefly I'll talk about what is the new subject, psychoneuroimmunology, then how the stress response, it matters in the biological process of this immunity and other systems. Then how the psychological factors affects on the immune system. Then how this can impact on the cancer onset, on the progression of the disease. A few clinical implication, then the conclusion point from this. Yeah. So the psychoneuroimmunology is a new branch. It studies the interactions between all the psychological factors, endocrine system, nervous system, and the immune system. If you see this, biologically, this communication between all the system, it happens through chemicals. It's secreted by the neurons, endocrine cells, and some of the cells in the immune system. The most of the time, the psychological factors can disturb this network and communication between all the systems. It affects all the immune-related disorders, especially in the cancer. We are constantly exposed to psychological stressors, even in the cancer disease process. How the psychological factors can affect the cancer onset and the progress of the disease and the treatment part during the chemotherapy and radiation. As you see this interaction between the stress response, and the immune system, the stress response plays a major role. The changing the physiologically or maybe some of the changes in the immune system. When you see the stress as a body response, it has the two pathways. One is HP axis. You see the stress that happens in the cortex, then the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus, it releases the hormone called CRH, then stimulates the anterior pituitary gland. It stimulates the adrenal cortex. Adrenal cortex releases the cortisol. The cortisol, what it does, it works on the liver and the immune system. In the liver, there's a metabolizes all this. It converts in the glucogen into glucose. It uses mobilizes for energy. And other way, it suppresses the immune system. Then other pathway, SAN, the hypothalamus, then it has the other pathway, sympathetic nervous system. It stimulates the adrenal medulla. Medulla releases the two hormones, adrenaline and noradrenaline. So because of this, there is a vasoconstriction and the hyperglycemia. So because of this, there is all the extra energy can be in the form of increasing heart rate, the blood pressure, and all the other changes. So here, the physiological stress response is one of the mediations of the effect of psychological factors on a cancer, because it's the regulations of the immune system. When you see the stress, so because of stress, there is a physiological stress response. The physiological response changes can cause the changes in the immune system that affect all the cancer, the prognosis, and all the other clinical variables. So I'm not going all the details of the immune system. When it comes to this effect of psychological factors on immune system, it's very important functions. Infect and malignant bodily cells are eliminated. This is the functions of immune system. Then internal checks on the cell divisions is carried out. Then the tissues damaged through injury is repaired in this process. So the system is responsible for the main, responsible for recognizing self from the non-self, the cells, slowly responsible for the killing the non-self, the cells. So these are the different not self cells, antigens and bacteria and the fungus and virus and all those things. So these most important cells that are used as a markers for the immune system when you're testing our intervention. So there is two types of leukocytes. It's in the blood cells in the macrophages and the granulocytes and the lymphocytes. It has two, T cells and in the B cells. So this, when it comes to non-specific response during the inflammation, the acute inflammation initiated by the stimulus, such as the injury or the infection, because of this inflammatory, the mediators are produced at the site of the stimulus that you call the cytokines. These cytokines, it increases, it dilates the blood vessels and increases the permeability. So it attracts all the phagocytes to the site, and it clears the inflammation and activates them. So when it comes to T cells, it contributes in two ways. One is it regulates the complex working of the immune system. Other cytotoxic and directly contacts infected cells and destroys them. So this is the B cells, and the B cells is produced with the antibodies, and the antibodies, it works on all the pathogens. All the psychological factors works on this entire process. So this can be measured in a different counting white blood cells or counting antibody population, counting antibodies to a specific pathogen. It can be bacteria or virus. So the effect of the immune function, other factors other than the stress level, other factors including anxiety, the sleep deprivation, some of the family illness, unemployment, the personality factors and the coping style, some of the other psychiatric illness also have shown an impact on the immune system in the onset as well as the progress of the disease. The immune system and disease can be positively influenced by the relaxation and some of the hypnosis and meditation, some of the positive attitude and some of the interventions. These techniques induces the physiological relaxation responses. It works on the fight and the flight responses. That's how, so indirectly changes on the stress response that it works on the immune system. Finally, the immune system, it improves, then the disease process also, it can be improved positively. So it works on the two ways. One is in the direct way, it's appraisal, then there is a immune suppression, then this causes the infection, it causes the disease. In other way, indirectly, the responses cause in a different lifestyle, then it leads to the disease. So there is a clear-cut growing evidence from the veteran animal and the human studies that psychological stress can impact the pathways implicated in the solid cancer onset and in the prognosis. You can see this bar graph, the effect of the daily stress on the tumor size. You can see clearly who exposed in a daily in 2 hours and in the 6 hours of the stress. You can see the way the size of the tumor is increasing. From this, I can conclude this evidence suggests that there is a strong link between the psychological stress and the cancer. So further investigation in the field of neuroimmunology would significantly add to the fight against the cancer if you take care of all the psychosocial factors. Understanding this pathway leads to a development of new therapeutic approach and improvement of the ones being currently developed. If you use the effective psychosocial models, definitely it improves the chemo and the radiation therapy effect also. So these are the few difficulties in the PNI, the research. It's very difficult to see all the changes in the immune system is highly complicated, and the measurement techniques are thank you.